ADHD has become a fad. Remember when everyone suddenly had ADHD? One day you're scrolling TikTok, next thing half your feed is people pointing at text saying, if you do this, you have ADHD. Forgot where you parked? ADHD. Can't sit through a boring meeting? ADHD. Bought stuff on impulse? Definitely ADHD. The hype got out of control fast. TikTok and Instagram turned into diagnosis factories. Creators with zero medical training racked up millions of views listing symptoms so broad they could apply to literally anyone, and people ate it up. Comment sections full of, oh my god, this is me, and finally an explanation for my life. Here's the thing though, ADHD is real. It's a neurodevelopmental disorder that actually shows up on brain scans. People with ADHD have measurable differences in dopamine regulation and executive function. But somewhere between raising awareness and chasing engagement, we turned a legitimate medical condition into a personality quiz. And the consequences? They're messy. Adderall prescriptions among young adults jumped 15% in 2 years. Pharmacies ran out of stock. People who'd been managing their diagnosed ADHD for decades suddenly couldn't fill their prescriptions because demand exploded. The DEA had to get involved because stimulant production couldn't keep up. Meanwhile, telehealth companies saw dollar signs. Startups popped up, offering ADHD assessments through 15-minute video calls. Some were legit. Others were basically prescription mills, handing out stimulants to anyone who said they couldn't focus. Cerebral, one of the biggest, got investigated and had to stop prescribing controlled substances entirely after basically turning ADHD meds into DoorDash.
But here's what really gets lost in all this.
Actual ADHD is brutal. It's not cute forgetfulness. It's missing rent payments, even though you have the money. It's losing jobs because you can't get your brain to do the thing, even when you desperately want to. It's relationships falling apart because your partner thinks you don't care, when really, your executive function just imploded again. The average person with untreated ADHD loses about $15,000 a year to impulsivity and disorganization. And yeah, some of the symptoms sound relatable. That's because their human experiences turned up to 11. Everyone procrastinates sometimes. People with ADHD procrastinate until they lose their apartment. Everyone gets distracted. People with ADHD can't read a paragraph without their brain launching into 5 different tangents. It's the severity and the consistency that matter. The problem with the TikTok diagnosis trend is it trained people to look at normal human behavior and pathologize it. Had a productive hyperfocus session on a hobby? Must be ADHD. Got bored during a 3-hour presentation? Couldn't possibly just be a terrible presentation. And look, increased awareness isn't bad. Plenty of people, especially women and minorities, went undiagnosed for years because ADHD research was done almost entirely on hyperactive white boys. Those TikToks probably helped some people realize they should actually talk to a doctor. That part's good. But we've swung so far the other direction that now doctors are seeing patients who've self-diagnosed based on social media and get hostile when the evaluation doesn't confirm it. Psychiatrists report spending more time explaining why someone doesn't have ADHD than actually treating people who do. The real issue isn't that people are seeking help. It's that we've created a culture where every struggle needs a diagnosis. Can't focus? Must be ADHD. Not the fact that you're running on 4 hours of sleep while Instagram bombards you with 500 pieces of content an hour. We've built a world that's hostile to attention spans and then act shocked when people can't concentrate. So what's actually happening here? ADHD diagnoses are up, yeah, but so is phone addiction, sleep deprivation, work burnout, and anxiety. Turns out, when you create an environment of constant stimulation and stress, people develop attention problems. Some of that's ADHD, a lot of it isn't. If you genuinely think you have ADHD, get properly evaluated. That means comprehensive testing, not a quiz from someone whose credentials are lived experience. Real assessment looks at your history, rules out other conditions, actually measures executive function. It takes hours, not minutes. But maybe also consider, are you actually struggling with a disorder, or are you just a human being trying to function in a system that's fundamentally broken? Because medicating your way through late-stage capitalism probably isn't the solution either. The ADHD awareness movement did some good, but like most internet trends, it went too far, got commodified, and now we're dealing with the fallout. The people who needed help are still struggling. The people who didn't need help are wondering why Adderall didn't fix their lives, and everyone's more confused than when we started. Here's the truth. ADHD is real, it's serious, and it needs proper treatment. But not everyone who can't focus has it. Sometimes you're just tired, overstimulated, and living in a world that makes concentration nearly impossible.